Welcome to the Cedar Valley Podcast. Consider this your inside look at what makes our region special. We talk about everyday life here in the Cedar Valley, the voices speaking up for progress, the ideas shaping our future, and the partners investing in our success. We believe community is built one conversation at a time, and we've saved you a seat at the table.
Hey, Kelsie.
Hey, Adrienne.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going good.
Good. We're here today to talk about CVMA, or Cedar Valley Manufacturers Association, just to learn a little bit more about that and how people can get involved too.
For sure. So it's been underway as far as the restructuring under Cedar Valley since the fall, but we are rolling out July 1st. And so we're with CVMA, Cedar Valley Manufacturers Association. It is a local collaboration of manufacturers and regional partnerships with either education or workforce institutions. And so we're bringing everyone to the table to collaborate on shared issues and problem solving.
Do you want to talk a little bit about what the formatting might be for a CVMA member if they decide to join?
Yeah, so CVMA is both our members within manufacturing, with it being our largest employing sector in the Cedar Valley. And then we also have our CVMA associate members. And so that's anyone coming from the education or workforce institutions. And so we have quarterly meetings.
Perfect.
Some are going to be facility tours. We're not going to limit ourselves on what this kind of can become as we relaunch this initiative, but that's kind of the fun part that we're at. Having done the strategic planning, now we kind of have our expanded pillars and strategic focus moving forward. And so it's an exciting place to be at.
How can people get involved with CVMA?
Now that it is under Cedar Valley, we have a wonderful landing page on our website. And so that is kind of where we're telling people to head first. And we're keeping that up to date on what they need to know. It has our new mission, vision, and strategic pillars, like I mentioned.
Yeah. Do you want to talk a little bit more about the strategic pillars and how that came about?
Yeah.
And what that all entails?
The last iteration of CVMA, workforce development was the only focus. And although that is an extremely important part of CVMA and maintains one of our strategic pillars, we've also expanded to include 3 others. And so along with workforce development, we also are focusing on advocacy to kind of be a collective regional voice for manufacturers in our area. We're including the image of manufacturing, because if we get stuck in believing what that legacy manufacturing is, then where's that talent pipeline or workforce pipeline going to come from? And so really working on the image of manufacturing. And then lastly, the collaboration and innovation, again, to kind of go along with that legacy manufacturing. If we don't keep innovating and even bringing that collaborative space together for them to talk about it, we won't see the change that we necessarily need for the growth in this area.
Do you want to tell us a little bit more about the history of CVMA?
Yeah, so CVMA actually started in 1977. So it's a association that's been around for a long time.
Legacy.
Different, yes, exactly. And which is, notable because not many associations can stand the test of time and several different iterations. So there's been several key players that have been very important. The growth and development of this association, coming underneath Cedar Valley and restructuring it under our umbrella as being kind of powered by Cedar Valley, I think was the next necessary step for CVMA to continue having the support that it needed to grow as an association. A lot of that work, they're full-time manufacturers, and so how much of that administrative work can really get done from meeting to meeting? And so that was where they recognized that need, and there was a lot of conversations that happened in order to get us to where we are today, of feeling like, yes, this is the next step to bring this association back to a sector board. And so it's going to be very strategic in the way that we are bringing manufacturers together. And then sometimes we're bringing other people into the conversation or quarterly meetings, like I mentioned, with the education and workforce institutions. But really, this is kind of stripping it right back down to a sector board.
Perfect. And I think Cedar Valley, too, not just being kind of the administrative side of things, but also tying in all of the other networks that we have internally. Personally, within advocacy, we can definitely reach more individuals, more manufacturers, and not just manufacturers. I feel like I talked about CVMA to a lot of different businesses in the area, just to make them aware that this is something in the Cedar Valley that is happening.
Yeah, to add to that, Adrienne, too, it's a great point of this is called Cedar Valley Manufacturers Association, but that also includes distribution, logistics, and supply chain.
Yes.
And so that's a great add as far as CVMA membership expands beyond just manufacturing to a lot of the support and integral pieces to their businesses.
Yes, absolutely. Do you want to talk a little bit about some of the past meetings that we've had recently, and then also what we could see in meetings in the future?
We've definitely had a little bit more of that soft launch before our membership rolls out in July. And so what we've kind of done up until this point is we brought everyone back to the table that was a previous member of CVMA to February's meeting. And so that was kind of the relaunch of what does this look like moving forward and kind of casting that vision. So much work was done by the advisory council. And so I just want to put a plug in for the incredible people on that council. And so we did that in February. And then most recently, we did a innovation and collaboration quarterly meeting in May. And we partnered with UNI Applied Engineering Building for hosting that space, as well as a training in AI, specifically within manufacturing. And that was held by Creative Planning and Scott Hagberg. The room just felt electric. People were excited. It was the right time for what is going beyond the buzzwords of AI and, all that kind of stuff. It was actually like, how do we use this in today's world on our manufacturing floor? Yeah, exactly. And so that was exciting to be the convener of those kind of opportunities where we get to connect here at Cedar Valley, the people, the programming, the opportunities, the resources, the opportunities, because I'm definitely not an expert in manufacturing. And so this is where we can just kind of come on the outside looking in of how can we support this incredible industry that's in our region.
Well, that sounds amazing. Who is attending these meetings or who should be at the meetings?
Yeah. So some of our meetings are going to be built out specifically for CVMA members. Some are going to be built for CVMA members and associate members, right? So our Grow Cedar Valley events page is going to be the best place to find when these are happening. One thing that I would just love to get out there is just that if you had been a part of CVMA in the past and maybe time constraints or whatever reason it didn't fit in, I would just love for you to try it again. And so that's what I really would love to see more of our manufacturing and distribution, logistics, supply chain companies just re-engaging or coming for the first time. And then also, as a CVMA associate member, that's our workforce and education partners. And so what we really want there is to be this connection. We've even built out a work-based learning submission form on our website that we really hope to kind of keep moving forward as this connector between our education, K-12, higher ed, work-based learning opportunities going to our manufacturing businesses in the area. And so that's going to be a huge bonus add for why you'd want to be an associate member. And then also just the facility tours. That's where a lot of peer-to-peer connection can happen. You get to see what company is doing over, down the street that you're like, wow, I would love to implement that back at my, at my place. And so there's a lot of opportunities for just authentic networking to happen as a part of CVMA. If this is something that relates to your area, please come and join.
Well, thanks, Kelsie. This has been amazing learning all about CVMA.
I'm excited to see what comes July 1st. We're already building off of something great. And so thank you for the way that you've come along and helped champion this as well.
Awesome.
Great to talk, Adrienne.
Thanks for joining the conversation. More stories, updates, and voices from across the Cedar Valley coming your way. Stay tuned for the next episode.